and then they'll use their best behaving women to get the other woman. Like, yo, listen, you see? That's why I fuck with her. That's why she gets A, B, and C, and then the other women are like, well, I do want A, B, and C. I gotta start acting like her. That's actually like, I don't know if that's sex trafficking, but that's like some pimp game shit. You know what I mean? Like, you get your best hoe and you teach your other hoes. Okay? You see it? You see how Sean Back taught me? I'm talking to you. You see how Sean Back taught me? When I tell her to go do that? Look like that's what Diddy was on. All right, bet. So did he ask you to get drugs for him? I said, yes, ecstasy. AUSA says, and in the south of France, he asked me to get some cocaine. I said, for who? What the hell? He said, why did you ask? He says, I wasn't going to do it, given how my mother died. So it looked like Capricorn Clark used to indulge in drugs with Diddy, even though she was an assistant. And Agnifilo says, sidebar, and they have a sidebar. Okay, the sidebar is happened, then they came back. AUSA says, who did Mr. Combs say the drugs for? He said, not me. Said, did you get him? Said, yes, through the Spanish security. He also got prescription drugs in my name. They were imported by carrying security. So what about both packs? So yes, 100,000 euros going back from Europe. He didn't get it. Club bookings in Europe. So he keep it, and he'll give it to security. Then into his bedroom personal safe. So violence, I'm fighting. Says, EOC says, was Mr. Combs violent with you? Yes. Star Island told me you are not to leave this house. Hello, Williams is going by boat. I returned Mr. Walker to Palm Island. He called and said, where the fuck are you? You can't have a life. Then, Capricorn Clark says, one time I asked the chef if there was turkey there. She said, no fucking turkey there. I said, I hated it. The chef told Mr. Combs that she said, I hated it. And he pushed me again and again. So what did he say? He said, if you hate it here, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So like he was pushing around. Wow. I'll read donations in a second. Thank you guys. AOSA says, did you ever leave your employment? Capricorn Clark says, I did. He said, but did you return? She says, yes. As global brand director. Says, why? He was impressed by what I did in the job I left for. So it looked like shit. Capricorn Clark left to work somewhere else, and Diddy liked what she was doing there and be like, nah, come back, I'm gonna give you a promotion. He says, left for a couple albums. He says you wouldn't have to work directly. It looked like they were a little bit contentious with each other. He says, you come back, I'm gonna give you this better position, but you don't have to answer to me directly. You don't have to work directly for me. It looked like she took it. What were you doing for Miss Ventura? So I was manager image, maximizing the optics for him. For Sean Combs, he had final approval or anything. So it looked like she came back to work with it was like a brand director, but working with Cassie. In LA, where you live, in the community, we had followed Kim Porter. He says, where was Miss Ventura? In New York City on the west side. She would come to LA and stay with him, or with me in a hotel. AOSA says, who else was Miss Ventura seeing? Kid Cudi. How did you learn? So, well, she brought him to my apartment. What did she say? She texted me that they were going to this public place in LA. I told her it was a bad idea to delete the text. Why? Mr. Combs found out about Kid Cudi. I mean, Mr. Combs paid for my phone and hers. Capricorn Clark says I took Cassie to Best Buy to get a burner phone. When did Mr. Combs return to town? Not long after. He took Cassie to a hotel, the Cipriani. And then, says on December 22nd, 2011, between 5 and 6 a.m., there was banging on my door. So what'd you see through the peephole? It's a furious puff. It says, Nicholas says, objection. It says, ask me a question, Silas. It says, what was his movement? He was pacing with something in his hand. He said, did you open the door? I did. What was he wearing? Button-down sweater, torn pants. He was holding a gun. Came to my apartment and says, why did you sell me? Who is that? We're gonna go kill this man. Check your phone message or phone record. Check your phone. Stop. Rather than Kid Cudi. Obviously, when you're with somebody, sometimes you might use a different name than their stage name. So where was the gun? In his hand. I said, I didn't want to go. He said, I don't give a fuck what you want to do. Get dressed. So now it looked like she's describing it more from her perspective of Diddy finding out about Kid Cudi, and he's going to go over there to go handle business. He said, I don't give a fuck what you want. Get dressed. AOSA says, what concerns did you have? CC says, he never come to my house. So it looked like she was already worried, like, damn, why'd you show up here? He said, did you try to escape? She says, no, I got dressed. He said, who joined in? Ruben. That's another one of the bodyguards. In the black Escalade executive class, AOSA says, where was Ruben? The driver's seat. Got the back seat. Right-hand side, Mr. Combs was in the left to the next one. Usually he would have sat in the front. Gun was in his lap. So usually Combs would have been in the front seat. There's the driver. He's in the back seat, sitting next to her, and he got a gun on his lap. Oh shit, Diddy was ready to handle business. Yeah, it looked like he's describing that Diddy got a gun to go see about Kid Cudi. AOSA says, how long does it take to drive from your home to Kid Cudi's home at the time in Hollywood Hills? It says, if you push it, 15 or 20 minutes. So what did Mr. Combs and Rube do at Cudi's house? They went in. Did you see it? Yes. What did you do? Called Cassie on a burner. I said, Cassie, where the fuck are you? I guess she was fearful that Cassie might be in the crib. Oh, that would have been a double hop. I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to make fun of it. Yo, this nigga Diddy walks in and Kid Cudi's fucking his bitch. You know how Diddy, you can fuck my bitch as long as I tell you. Now if you gonna do it behind my back. All right, cool. It says, I told her Puff was at her house, then I changed her number in my phone to my best friend's store. AUSA says, what did you hear on the phone? That Scott was at Cassie's. Okay, so it looked like Cassie tells Diddy, yo, I'm not a Kid Cudi. AUSA says, when Mr. Combs came back, it says he took my phone and called the last number. Then I saw Kid Cudi driving up. Mr. Combs saw my face and said, there's that nigga right there. Capricorn Clark says, we drove off and saw police driving the other way toward Cudi's. Puff was pulling himself together. We stopped at the Key Club and he told me to call Cassie. AOSA says, what did you tell Cassie? That he had me and he wouldn't let me go. What did Miss Ventura say? She says, okay, come get me. She was calm. Who drove me home? Ruben. What did Mr. Combs then tell you? He says, to convince Kid Cudi not to say it had been him at his house. I picked up Cassie. So where did you go? Capricorn Clark says, we went to Cudi's and tried to convince him not to file a police report. What did you tell him? He says that Puff had come to my house with a gun. AOSA says, what'd you tell him? He said, if you tell on him, he'll hurt us all. So they were telling Kid Cudi, if you make a police report saying you see me, you'll fuck up all of us, okay? AOSA says, what was Agnifilo says, objection. They sustain it. AOSA says, what happened at the house? Not kicking her out. He was actually kicking her with his feet. AOSA says, how was Cassie? She was in a fetal position. He kicked her all the way to the street. She was crying silently. Where was he kicking her? In her back, in her backside. So where were you? 5 feet away. So was Ruben. So I guess they witnessed Cassie he's fucking kicking the shit out of her. In essence, AOSA says, what did Mr. Combs say? He says, if you jump in, I'm gonna fuck you up too. If you jump in, I'm fuck you up too. The other side. I told him, yo, tell your brother to stop Puff. He's kicking the shit out of her. Like, even his brother. Cool. I called Paulie too. And Uncle Paulie did an interrogation question. He said he'd take care of it. When Rube did nothing, what happened next? Holmes told me to get the fuck out too. I left my foot. AOSA says, did you still see him getting kicked while you were leaving? Yeah. Until I went around the bend. So he was assaulting the passing by the police for 10, 20, maybe 30 minutes. That's crazy. All right. Oh, he said, then who'd you call? He said, I called her mom, Regina. He says, I told her, he's kicking the shit out of your daughter. I can't call the police, but you can. AOSA said, why didn't you call the police? The mission of the day was to get Kid Cudi. So no calling the police. So I guess she was saying, I went with the nigga having a gun to go get Kid Cudi. If I call the police and all this is unraveled, it's gonna come back on me because I went with this nigga when he had a gun to go get Kid Cudi. So I guess she thinks like, she's almost thinking, yo, I was part of a crime, so I can't call. Y'all can call, but just for that one incident. Remember, they already convinced Kid Cudi, don't say nothing. If law enforcement shows up anyway saying there's some A, B, C, and D happening, AOSA says, this email, who's it from? It says, Cassie. She wrote that she'd be releasing sex tapes about me, and she would have someone else hurt me and Kid Cudi. Oh, she wrote that he would be releasing sex tapes about me. So Cassie told Capricorn Clark, yo, Diddy about to release some sex tapes of you. And they said that he's going to have someone else hurt you and Kid Cudi. AUSA says, do you recall if you responded to this? Capricorn says, I don't recall. He says, did law enforcement call you? He says, yes, the arson investigators. Cudi had given them my name. I hung up on them. I just wanted this over with. AUSA says, what did Mr. Combs say to you? He says, I should kill you bitches, and I should cut her face. AUSA says, how many times did Mr. Combs threaten you? He says, I'd say 50. D-Rock was there just doubling down on whatever Puff had to say in the moment. Who was Harv Pierre, the president of Bad Boy Records? I told him Puff kidnapped him. It says, what did Harv Pierre tell you? He said, that's crazy, but it's gonna be okay. I got a termination notice. I was accused on not properly putting in for vacation I was on. So she later gets fired from Bad Boy, or Sean Combs Enterprise, whatever, or Sean Combs Global, as they call it. AOSA says, had you put it in? Pause. Meaning, if you put in your vacation notice. He said yes to Harv Pierre. So it looked like they're basically saying in a roundabout way, Diddy had the president fire her randomly after she witnessed it. These are New York enemies, all of them. Help. Job offer. He says, I did, but I felt through. I couldn't get a job offer. He said, did you settle with Mr. Combs? CC says, I did, for objection. And I would imagine that they don't want that to be set on record. Diddy has about 50 facilities, so they don't want to have a record of how much Diddy has supposedly paid out. And yes, you got to remember, despite what NBA, she admits she's currently under criminal proceeding. Say the number. We already know Diddy paid out $20 million to Cassie. Jane Doe supposedly got a settlement. We don't know how much. Actually, did Jane Doe get a settlement? Not sure. But who else got a settlement? Chef. The chef got a settlement. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. This Lauren London shit is kind of crazy. It said, this is Capricorn Clark. Look like she's crying on the stand. All right, they're back again. So aside from that settlement agreement, do you have any other pending litigation against Combs? Sorry. Capricorn says no. Did you go back to work for in 2016? No one else will hire me. So she's saying I did go back to work. She's now going back to work for me. Nobody else will hire me. Cassie says, who did you have to get approvals from? Capricorn Clark says, Sean Combs. Cassie is taking more drugs. The USA says, was she still dating Mr. Combs? Yes. In December 2023, why did you retain an attorney? I was traumatized by Cassie's civil complaint. Capricorn Clark says her complaint did not reference me. Okay, so she retained a lawyer in 2023. She says she was traumatized by Cassie's civil complaint. She says the complaint didn't reference me. I reached out to Mr. Combs and said, I want my life. You kidnapped me. Agnifilo says, objection. Justice overruled. AUSA says, was there a discussion of you working for Mr. Combs again? CC says, yes, as chief of staff. So it looked like Diddy would probably offer her a job or like a high-raising or upgrading job to keep her quiet. And, you know, Diddy always knew she was kind of broke, so that would always keep her good. AUSA says, when's the last time you spoke with Ms. Ventura? She says 2018. And Kid Cudi, 2012. So no further questions. The judge says break. Agnifilo says, can I start? The judge says, well, we're taking a break. So now they're taking a break. I would imagine, would that be lunch? No, it's not lunch yet. They're back. 22 minutes. Miss Clark. Agnifilo. He's doing a cross. He says, we met in April 2023, right? You had a lawyer, Ryan Freeman, right? Capricorn Clark says, yes, it looked like Capricorn Clark was directed Diddy's defense and criminal defense team. Agnifilo says, you wanted to come back and work for Ms. Combs, right? CC says, yes. Agnifilo says, you saw Ms. Garagos taking notes. That's Tenny Garagos, daughter of Mark Garagos, which we all know was involved with the first escort, Jonathan Odie. Not first escort, they were the first, okay? They did that settlement. Capricorn Clark says, yes, we didn't see Tenny. By the way, Tenny was on the case back then. It looked like it was a star start. They met, you know, probably in a trial. It's kind of looking awesome. Usually the government TV in the say, don't. What they're trying to show is you're a government witness, but as of last month, you met with us almost discussing possibility of having a job if Diddy beats this. That's kind of damning. Okay. He says, you didn't think Cassie was good for Mr. Combs. Why? He says, I thought they were just toxic. Niffalo says, tell me about when you were in New York. I was in the Bronx. I hated it. He says, it was 2002. She's described. She says, I met Jeanette, then Mr. Combs. At the World Trade Center thing, then I met Mr. Combs. And Niffalo says, you wasn't doing drugs then, right? He says, well, he did ecstasy at Daddy's house. And Niffalo says, but it got worse? She says, yes. Niffalo says, you authorized Mr. Freeman to seek a job for you. That's her lawyer, it seems. Capricorn Clark says, all receipts, lawyer. Niffalo says, but he told you couldn't give him a job in the middle of an investigation, right? Cece says, I don't remember that. So basically, I guess Diddy's lawyers told her, yo, listen, we're down to have you come back. But right now, Diddy's getting investigated for sex trafficking, right? Oh, by the way, it was 2024, not 2025. The trial started in 2025. But 2024, Diddy was under investigation. So it looked like they spoke to her and be like, yeah, we'll hire you back. Well, you gotta wait a bit. You gotta wait till we beat this. And she seemingly was like, hey, okay, I'm down. It looked like she didn't fully turn government witness in. So excuse my misspeaking on that. 2024, they're still trying to find witnesses. They're doing subpoenas. Looked like this woman who had reached out to Diddy was down to come back, and then the government. Okay, so then the government got a hold of her. Yeah, because I know ain't no fucking way a government's witness is talking to the defense a month before trial. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, the government probably wouldn't use them, or probably tell them whatever immunity we gave you is off the table. You know what I mean? And if you go up there and start lying because you just met with the ops, you're in perjury. So okay, cool. All right, well, you couldn't be told you couldn't get a job in the middle of an investigation. She says, I don't remember this. Niffalo says, read this and let me know when you're done. Do you remember saying you had the biggest crush on him? Ooh. Sure he wanted to fuck him. So it looked like, and this would make sense, the way how Diddy was talking to this particular assistant. He has other assistants, but this one particular assistant, Diddy's talking to like his bitch too. Like, it's like, Diddy's talking to her like, you one of my homies, not you're my assistant. Now, granted, the other two assistants we've heard about, and there's another one we haven't seen yet. She's Mia, so we're gonna see how he deals with his personal assistants. By the way, we don't know how, it looks like Diddy might have been fucking all his assistants, right? Or they might have some type of romantic thing with him. Don't know about the males yet, though. Like the last guy was in David Capital. He seemed come on, brother. Good. Come on, we don't know this. Anyway, the point of this is, if Diddy had like these relationships where like, yeah, you're my assistant, but I fuck you, like, this, the behavior that Diddy had with them might be contextualized. Like, for example, Capricorn Clark is, the way he talking to her is more than, oh, you're just hired for the job. But also, Diddy's team, it contextualizes everything she's saying. She was an assistant who probably liked Diddy, was watching Diddy fuck all these chicks, probably felt away. Probably, after she gets let go or whatever, she has an accident. Maybe that's the reason why she's now up on the stand testifying against him. So, remember you had the biggest crush on Diddy? And AUSA says objection, Rule 403. Let's look at Rule 403. Evidence. Let's see what that is. It's the federal rule of evidence that says it excludes, allow courts to exclude relevant evidence if it's of its probative value. For example, how much it helps the fact of the case. Substantially outcome made by certain days include unfair prejudice, confusion of issues, misleading the jury, undue delay, and wasting time. They're basically saying you're just trying to expose the fact. He's just trying to expose this woman for her, her personal likes or dislikes, even if she had a crush on him. Okay. Agnifilo says, well, the relevance here is state of mind. So they want to show her state of mind. And AUSA says, no, that's not, you're being offered this as a truth. Agnifilo says, we had a stipulation to this. Now they have a sidebar. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Sidebar, they should be back. All right, we're back. It says, you called Diddy choke or chalk or chocolate, right? Capricorn said, yeah, I did. Agnifilo says, you started Def Jam. You started with Def Jam, Run DMC, right? Says, I don't go back that far. I'm more like Foxy Brown, Redline, Jay-Z. Agnifilo says, so how did you come to work for Mr. Combs? Capricorn Clark says, I put my resume in a monster after the World Trade Center fame. And he said, you'd work for me? I was like, maybe. He was acting on Broadway at Raising the Sun. I was impressed. He had a major part, right? That's what Agnifilo says. Capricorn says he was a star. Okay. So after 2000, I would imagine he says after the World Trade Center thing, I'm surprised the lawyer that made this like there was 2 incidents, World Trade Center incident. There's one in 1993. There's one in 1993 though. There was a bombing. Why would I call back? It's a water. Yo. What up?
It's a lot I don't be wanting to say, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of niggas be out here capping, right?
Yeah.
About this and about that because they don't know shit until the motherfucker they died and they learning what they learning.
Yeah.
But I don't give people certain things. I don't want niggas to think I'm a hater, right?
Yeah.
I don't give niggas certain things because that's like a nigga that was born and raised in Jersey, and then it's a nigga that moved from Detroit to Jersey when he was 15. I'm not gonna give him what I'm gonna give born and raised in Jersey about Jersey.
Yeah.
Right? You check your text message. See, this is why I don't give niggas all that shit because I know the shit I know. But now that another nigga that spoke on it, there it go, right? See, for me to give a nigga that, then I got to take that from a lot of other niggas. You get what I'm saying? And see, this is shit I've been knowing, but I don't say nothing. But somebody else is saying something. So now I'm gonna bring it to your attention. See, I'm not giving a nigga that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not giving a nigga that. You follow me? See the difference between you and him? Can't nobody pull that up on you, right? Can't nobody pull that up on you. Nigga made an accusation, boom, he got had the grand jury, struck down, boom. But I can't give niggas that when I know what I know. You understand what I'm saying?
Alright, well, Wack, is this, so, I'll explain, and by the way, Wack sent me a link to a, this is a blog, I'll put it up. Wack, have you verified?
You gotta verify what I already know.
Wait,
it's another one in the. It's another one in the.
This is not fake work, is it?
Hey, yo, listen. I don't give people certain shit because I know the shit that I know, homie.
Okay, so chat. Just what Wack just said. They said breaking news. Some past charges related to Rolling 60s own Nipsey Hussle have surfaced. One of the charges included him playing on the field where the grass is barely even growing. Now, when you look at it a little bit closer, I don't know if you guys can see, it says unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. Now, Wack, I gotta be very careful here. This is very treacherous waters.
No, that's public record.
Is this public record? And you're sure that somebody else can pull it up? Because I
seen that shit many moons ago, my brother. A whole lot of niggas don't roll that niggas don't say. So this shit like this was like 15 years ago. It's like 08.
What was the plea on it? Because I'm looking for the plea. I see he had a firearm.
It says on there.
It said nolo contendere. And by the way, so the charge underneath was lewd act on dependent on a adult by caretaker with force. Whack. this is serious allegations. Like,
Hey, yo, listen to what I'm telling you. All these people in your chat, that shit 17 years ago, right? They probably couldn't even read or write. This is why when they say dumb shit, act. You tell people, whack is Reggie Wright. We've been around, homie, and we still here. See, it's a lot of niggas that was around, but they wasn't in the mix. You understand what I'm telling you? They wasn't in the mix.
Wait. So, did people on the West Coast notice? Like, it seemed like this was a secret.
Hey, bro, listen what I'm trying to tell you. The same way the East Coast get down is the same way the West Coast get down in the South and Midwest. Niggas will sweep shit under the rug and keep it hush-hush. But it's always a reason when I say, I don't stand with that. Yeah, they can say what they want to say. Because when shit ever hit the fan, they ain't gonna catch me over there.
Let me ask you a question. So if this was kind of known, why the hell Kendrick ain't mentioned Nip and he go mention Drake? Drake ain't got none of this, if this is true.
Hey, listen to me, bro. Hey, that's a topic for discussion.
So you're telling me that one of the
No. Look, I listen. Once again, Wack didn't break the story, but once I seen it broke, there it go. See.
So you've heard about this before, or is this news? Like, I've never seen this before.
I've been knowing this shit. I can show you on my phone how I've been knowing this shit.
So you think that Nip is a certified?
No, I'm telling you what those charges been.
Okay. Well, we got to figure out what happened with the charges. It could be some false charges. He never had to register.
Yeah, all right.
We gotta be fair because sometimes niggas might get hit with some shit, whatever.
He's the only one in the group with the charges. You heard what I said. See, this is why they should just leave me the fuck alone, bro. They leave me. Look, bro, I don't fear none of you niggas. I ain't scared to die. I got a little bag. My politics is right. Leave me the fuck alone, bro. Stop fucking with me. Leave me alone, bro. Because I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. Hold on one.
What the hell is going on? Chat, this one respectfully, I'm gonna let West Coast handle West Coast business. I want no parts.
Nephew.
What's up, man?
Now listen to me, we ain't saying no names. Now, I speak when people ask me about the Nipsey shit. I say very minimum, do I not?
Yeah, right.
It's a whole lot of other footage I can speak on, and text messages I can speak on, but I never do. Have you heard me tell a lie about anything, the minimum I speak on?
No.
I'm telling academics, you know why this man know academics?
How?
Because he's the man in the video. So when you ready to come out here and you got your bag up, I call nephew, he'll pull up. He ain't no gang member, he ain't none of that. I'm going to protect him with my life.
Is he an escort? Because that would be some Diddy shit.
No, he ain't none of that, nigga. He just a nigga that got his swag up. He ain't none of that shit.
That boy.
None of that. He legal. He get legal money. Got 2-3 businesses. And nephew got his swag up. He been around us forever.
Right. Never been a hater.
You know who used to be kind of like similar to him? How we would, you remember the homie that got killed from Chris Brown? Out here in Miami, he got shot in the club.
Oh,
I heard you talking about.
Okay, these two niggas was sort of the same, only he tried to fit in a little too much with the street. Nephew just who the fuck he is, bro. He's just a cool nigga, that's it. You know what I'm saying? He does his thing, that's it. He ain't looking for no handout. He ain't looking for no pat on the back. He's a cool nigga.
Damn.
Now, whenever you ready out here to put the bag up, let's pull right here and press play. But he telling you, it's a whole lot I can say that I don't say, bro. I've seen it with my own eyes.
So here's the thing. I'm wondering if this is one of those situations I should just stay out of West Coast niggas' business. Because I ain't know niggas
No,
got
what
down
I'm
like this.
saying is this, bro. I'm gonna be real. I don't believe dude was ashamed of his life. He wasn't.
Nah, he definitely wasn't. You know what I'm
He
saying?
wasn't. So it's all these other people that want to act like he was. Dude wasn't ashamed of his activities, bro. That was what that was when it came to that. Y'all making it like he gotta be. Nephew right here. He ain't ashamed.
Nah, for sure. I get bitches. I don't fuck with no niggas, man. This is just cool.
I mean, listen, I guess if we ever do an interview, we'll get to the real conversation, but why do you think he picked you? Why do you think he picked you to, like, fuck his baby mom?
Man, because I had motion. I had money. I was doing my shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been
He thought, I'm going to say it may sound crazy. He thought nephew was the fly ass nigga on top of his game. That's what he thought. And shit. Because nephew got to a point to where he like, hey, bro, nigga, I'm not just finna keep moving around here. You got to take care of me.
Nah, for sure. I knew a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, and then he passed away, and that shit just was shocked. That shit blew up. Like, I ain't know. I had forgot all about it, and I was like, oh, shit.
Hey.
And then he passed.
So did any of this happen while he was famous, or like he wasn't famous then? Like he was just...
Yeah, he was famous.
Yeah, nigga, we
in
talking
LA,
about the real
you
nigga.
famous already, you know what I'm saying? You popping. You know what I'm saying? I was with Big Baby at the time, at one of the times, you know what I'm saying? Big Baby, that was my boy.
Yeah, that's the home.
For the
Free
Clippers.
Big Baby. Free
Big Baby in jail right now, you know what I'm saying? Free Big Baby. So that kind of...
This ain't no motherfucking 2010 shit. This is right.
Hey.
This is 2018, 2019.
And really the last thing, and I'm asking to really whack on you, because even like Whack had me pull up this blog that kind of alleges certain shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think...
Well, he don't know nothing. He don't know nothing about that.
No. I know, but even the stuff he does know about, y'all don't fear for y'all life. Like, you know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie, some of this stuff...
What everybody know.
Nah, man.
I walk around this motherfucker LA, man. Don't nobody touch me, man.
Yeah,
man,
bro,
I'm from
doing
the
this
streets,
shit,
man.
bro.
I will blow one of
Nephew
these
running around this
niggas.
motherfucking in Lambos and all kind of shit. Fear for what? But, bro, that's his preference, bro. He called on nephew.
Yeah, if I'm in the hood and I'm in they shit, you know what I'm saying? Of course, this shit is different. But I be in Beverly Hills, I be in Hollywood.
Wait, y'all be getting no threats over this shit?
Act. How you gonna get mad at a nigga that got called on?
Whack,
bro.
Oh shit! Oh no! Oh my god! Damn! My phone might die. Yo, Chad. I don't. Do you think Whack just cooked this? Not like cook it up like it's fake, because you know if it's fake, it would damage Whack's reputation. But do you think that? I don't know. Like that's why I'm like sitting here. I'm like, is Whack using me? Like I don't. Yo, West Coast niggas, I want nothing to do with any time. I told you I like to stay out of dick and pussy games. If Nip used to fuck niggas, used to like his girl getting fucked by niggas, I want no problem. I don't know about him touching no kids. I want to put that on the record. Okay? All of this shit, by the way, the name of this page is called West Coast Gangs. I just want to let y'all know, this ain't a little academic, so when I come here to do my little two-step in the Beverly Center, or y'all catch me at the Waldorf, please do not run up on me, think you are operating for Nip, okay? I don't know nothing about Nip with kids, Nip liking his girls fucked. I don't know about that. Y'all need to refer to the other individuals that are saying this, okay? Leave Act alone. I don't call Nip weird, and for the record, okay, Black Sam, my last conversation with Nipsey was facilitated by Karen Civil. We had a great conversation for over an hour on the phone while I was in LA, and we spoke like men. I have no beef, no axe to grind, and I don't care who he used to put his dick inside. I gotta put his warning out, Because I think they about to kill somebody with this shit. I'm going to be honest with you. Chat, I swear. My phone about to turn back on again. Okay. Wack probably thought I hung up because I'm scared. But, yeah, no. I just want to put that warning out there. West Coast guys, I have no parts in putting out any propaganda that Nip like kids, like his girl getting fucked. All I know about him is that the marathon keeps continuing. That's it. I know nothing else, and I'm going to check out the group chat with this one. I'm out the group chat. Check me out the group chat. Wait, is this a gang sign? Oh, hell no. I got no gang sign. I'm just give you a nice little wave. Yo, I keep telling y'all can't beef with Wack. Y'all can't beef with Wack. Hold on, let me try to get this thing together. Hold on, chat. Hold on. My pool guys are here. My dogs are going crazy outside. They cleaning the pool. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. All right. Woo. That was all right. Hold on. Let me call right back. Why are they trying to say Nipsey? Chat. I gotta go look this up. And so it looked like this was taken at the time. Here's the thing. So
Hey, listen. Y'all better leave me alone, bro. Listen.
My bad. My phone died. Yeah.
You know me, bro. You know how.
Anyway, this says from 2008. That's when. I'm trying.
Okay. Well, Drake shit was from 2000 and what? What we talking about?
Wait, no, ain't no way, Wack. Wack, we gotta validate the paperwork. We can't have this said by the legend like this. They said the offense date was, so it looked like they booked him for a gun.
Hold on, let me call my little people, because they been at it. They sent it to me back then.
What? How the hell?
He ain't the only one.
Wack, I'm gonna get Wack. On some real shit. Wack, you don't think they gonna try to do something to you, Wack? Listen, I know you.
Hey, yo, academics,
I'm not
what
saying you
you
was scared.
talking about?
Wack.
I don't get who gonna try to do what?
Wack, you got a bunch of people that love him that live off of that brand still. When, like, again, some.
What that got to do? Wait, what that got to do with me?
Because again, they would like for these type of things not to be brought to the surface that could hurt the brand.
I haven't brought any of them to the surface.
Yeah, but you're the loudest voice.
That's a link. Do I own that blog site right there?
But you're the loudest voice who's echoing.
Do I own that blog site? So now okay, so now, see, this is what I'm saying. So Wack is restricted from having conversations about what's on the blogs. First, I put it up. First, I did it and be like, nah, Wack didn't put it up. That nigga really okay. That dude put up the clip. Wack just had a conversation about it. So which one is he?
Wack, I don't want when, I guess was it Big U nephew, Tiny Bros or whatever, I don't want him to be
Man,
like.
all that's fake, bro. Them niggas ain't nobody, man. Them little dudes ain't nobody. Them dudes ain't, bro, y'all sat there, Trap Lord, I gotta call him. I got a bone to pick with him. Sat there and motherfuckers create all these crazy ass narratives and shit. But at the end of the day, bro, it's like this. I'm trying to understand, are they saying that I'm a mute, that I can't talk, that I can't have a conversation that's on the blogs? Or then why niggas is having conversations about me? They having conversations about me about all kind of shit. So why I can't have conversations about other shit? What's the problem?
Okay, so also here's the thing too. It looked like there was a motion to dismiss. It says submitted to time of sentence. I don't know what that means. Could we, like, as you popularize, we got the work. Do we have the full work? Because this is so heavy. Like, I don't want it to,
Hey, listen. They don't even have work on me with my name on it like that. And they just make up shit, but somebody put it up. I mean, I will tell you that is something we've been knowing about for many, many moons. It's another dude involved in it that claims he's part of their clique right now. One of the little names, little rapper dudes.
Really?
Yeah, this is a fact.
Man.
Shout out to his baby mama. I sent him some diapers. He got mad at me for sending his baby mama diapers. Crazy, but
because you sent his baby mama diapers, or you didn't?
I did. I didn't know it was his baby mama. Lady just got at me in the DM, said she was homeless in the hotel, had a newborn. I sent her a bunch of diapers. I guess he went by there to see the kid and saw the incredible diapers. It went crazy on the girl.
Whack, you know Black Sam not gonna like this shit, right?
You know who?
Black Sam. You ain't see what Black Sam did with Rockstar?
He didn't do nothing to Rockstar. What'd he do to him?
He gave a demonstration. That's what he called it. It's a demonstration.
He embarrassed him a little bit. That ain't no demonstration. He's embarrassed him. He embarrassed him with it. I mean, but that's Rockstar. Everybody ain't going for that shit. Man, look, Black Sam, I ain't taking nothing from him, but Black Sam, he not gonna approach everybody like that, bro.
Why?
Everybody ain't going for that shit.
Here's my thing. I think you're fucking up.
But what Black Sam got to do with me though, bro? Like, listen.
Whack, you fucking up my chance to, you know, salute to Karen Civil, you know, I love her. She invited me to go to the burger spot. She said, Act, let me know when you come in here. We're going to take care of you. It's going to blah, blah. Now, when I show up there, Black Sam going to be like, there he is. He was on the phone with Whack. Demonstration. I'm like, oh,
hey,
no.
bro.
I got to
hey,
run.
Bro,
I'm like,
me.
stop, drop, and roll. Yo, Whack.
Hey, listen
I want to
me.
go get a burger at the Marathon Burger.
I haven't heard Black Sam say my name. He hasn't said my name.
Slave.
Blue eye because of Diddy. You better stop fucking with his bitch. Especially with to go have a kid with. And then hopefully he don't become one of these Batiman over here. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. I just got to check out. Because I can't. Look at this shit. Turner's mind.
Together. Why would I listen to you?
But you...
Keep in mind, this is why when some of these celebrities post it, you got to tell them, go to the cops and shut the fuck up. Leave us out the group chat. Look, you see? She said, why would I listen to y'all? When she voluntarily posts this. Why would I listen to y'all? This man think he gonna take my daughter away from me. Say what you want, but trying to take my baby is crazy. This is what she posted. Why would I listen to y'all? Chat. This is why I keep telling you, man, we got to monitor our motherfucking business. If they sharing their life and they keep going back, you watch, you have your amusement, and you just walk away. Don't think you're no relationship coach. They ain't trying to get saved.
Like, you know, I try to explain to people, like, you're just on the...
What makes you happy?
I am so happy that I didn't leave him because I would never find what I have with him in anybody else. And it's gotten so much better. It's like...
Yo, I think that nigga did voodoo on her. I'm trying to get that type of voodoo on some type of girl too. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Obviously, we ain't trying to do the abuse shit, but like, she's a little bit cuckoo, you know. But she love this nigga. I ain't gonna lie, she do love this nigga.
Like a whole different ball game, and it's like I always think about it. Like, damn, if I would have left, I'd be missing out on this.
Damn. Chat.
But then it's also like the opposite end of the things could be like, what happens if, you know, like, it's not even about you leaving him. What if it's the other way around? Like, it's just, I want you to be happy. I want you to feel loved. I want your daughter to feel loved. I don't know what it's like to be a mom. I know what it's like to be a woman, you know, but like, I've never been in your shoes and I admire how strong you are. And I want like
people don't look at, like, Callie would be raised by a single mother. I would probably take me a long time to get in a new relationship. Like, I'd be distraught. Like,
I want, but
why would I go through
even
that?
If you makes you happy.
I don't believe in leaving somebody after they, like, a lot of girls, you cheat on them one time, they're gone. I've never been that type of girl, ever. I've never been that type of girl.
I don't even want you to.
Yo, that nigga in the back right now, that nigga in the back on Instagram, like, yo, his bitch ain't leaving no matter what. He's cheating like he's going out of style.
Say that, like, you don't need to say that to make yourself feel like any sort of justification as to why you're with Levon. You don't need to prove to nobody but yourself and Jesus Christ why you were with him. I am not Jesus. I have no room to judge you. And I want you to know it is not, I want you to be happy. I don't give a damn that you're with Levon. I don't give a damn if you're with someone else, as long as you're happy and you're smiling. And when I see you on social media, you have a smile on your face.
That's what I be not, like, understanding.
That's
like,
it.
why don't people see that? Like, I'm not like, help.
Blink twice if you need help. You're not like I understand.
It's just like really. It's like I feel like they just overdo it. Like a lot of things they just do, but this is just one thing they overdo.
Because it hits home.
I don't believe. I went through so much with my mom. My mother has done unspeakable things to me. You know what people say? Even online. That's your mom. That's your mom. Why don't people say that's your man? Even tied with a child.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? People,
like your mom could do unspeakable things and you have to tolerate it or forgive it
people
or get over it
always
because
say
it's your mom.
she should still respect her mother.
This nigga, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. This nigga is slaying some Hall of Fame cock on this girl. I can't even lie to you. Like this type of digmatized is like it gotta be studied. It gotta be studied. Like she's comparing her relationship with the nigga to her mom.
She should still respect her. And people are gonna say, oh, because she gave birth to you. No, y'all say that about brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins. Y'all do that. Y'all say that. When it's family, it's okay. When I literally looked at her, I just like everything from that moment became about her. And a lot of people, even around me, will tell me like, you care about Levon more than you care about Callie. And it's like, you couldn't even imagine. Like when people tell me that, I get mad, yes, but I laugh almost because it's like I went through so much. I would literally put Levon in the trunk and put the car in the lake if it came to my baby.
Really?
Like, yes, like it's.
All right, it's gotten to the point I don't care no more. Okay, anyway, we gotta stay out of white people business, but we gotta stay out of. Yo. The next time when you see $150 on somebody's face, just be like, let Jesus take the wheel and let it go, bro. Just keep scrolling. You got to just keep scrolling, bro. You got to keep scrolling. This is why I be telling y'all that little cancel culture shit. Some of y'all want to be like, no, you hit her. Like, even the DDG, Halle Bailey shit, let Jesus take the wheel, bro. Leave me out of it, bro. Leave me out of it. Y'all niggas go deal with it privately. Leave me out of it, okay? Same with Papoose and Remy. I'm telling you, all the same shit. Damn. Shorty's pregnant as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Carla Reyes looked more feminine since she got pregnant. It's like pregnancy made her look better. No, now it's some weird shit. It just, she always looked like the little worm from Men in Black. Like now she looked like female. All right. Who else is this? I don't know some of these people. All right. Tory Lanez. Oh, we'll get into this later. And some more Papoose fuckery. Anything else? Let me see what else is going on. The rap blogs. This is Sky Jack. I don't even want to cover those. Like me talking about Sky Jackson like some Disney character shit. She's on Disney Channel, right? Okay. What else? This is before we start getting into this Diddy trial. Okay. Top 5 presser. I might bring that up later. Okay. The baby got his lawsuit dismissed or the lawsuit against him dismissed. Who's this? Okay. All right. Bet. All right. Perfect. So let's just immediately jump into this Diddy trial. First and foremost, what we're going to start off with is there was some legal filings that was submitted over the week. I'm not going to pull the documents, but I'll give you the summary of what the hell is going on. So Diddy's team is realizing, and they've brought it up to the court a lot. And I'm going to be honest with you. I do believe, right? I do believe that the case against Diddy is now starting to get into some hearsay thing. Now, I've told y'all and explained to y'all what hearsay is a bunch of times. If you do something to me, like for example, Diddy did stuff to Cassie. If Cassie says this will happen to me, that's not hearsay, okay? Now it's testimony, but it's witness testimony, right? Hearsay is okay. I'm gonna testify to something, but we don't got no proof. Oh, yeah, right before my car got bombed, Diddy was talking crazy to me. How do we blame Diddy for your car getting bombed? Now, do I think Diddy did it, bro? Of course Diddy fucked up this nigga's car. But the problem here is when you're in a trial, in a jury trial that needs to convict you beyond a reasonable doubt, Diddy's charged with a RICO. And in a RICO, they put so much shit into the mix that you only got to get found guilty of 2 of them, which is what's called predicate offenses. I told you, arson is one of them, kidnapping is another, sex trafficking is another. Okay, bribery is another. He's all of those are listed under his RICO charge. So they got to prove that Diddy actually did blow up this guy's car or try to burn it up. Here's the problem. If this was a standalone charge, he would never be charged with it. I'm going to tell you why. Yes, the fire, marshals or the firefighters, whoever responded, the fire people who would make the determination, they did say it is arson. It was a fire that didn't happen naturally, wasn't mechanical, didn't happen. It happened literally because someone did foul play. Now, they don't know who. There was never no surveillance video that showed Diddy doing it. There was no admission or a confession. And even by Kid Cudi's own account, when he said he asked Diddy about it, and this is also hearsay because you're now testifying to what somebody else is saying, even though you could be like, well, this is what I heard them say, cool. Diddy said, what car? Right? And he even further said, y'all don't know nothing about that. Right? So essentially, they're blaming Diddy for this, which again, we're using common sense. I do believe he did, but this type of shit being allowed in a trial is kind of wild. So anyway, over the weekend, Diddy's lawyers have now submitted some things, and here's the thing. The only thing that Diddy's lawyers could do in court, they'll object to it before the trial starts for that day. They'll raise an issue to say this shouldn't happen. If the judge allows it in, they're going to have to file some more motions afterwards and think about, possibly bringing it up on appeal if he gets found guilty. That's how it works. So, Diddy's legal team, they're gunning to blow up a major moment for Kid Cudi's testimony, asking the judge to strike everything about the disgraced rapper's Porsche firebombing. Why they said disgraced? How is Kid Cudi disgraced? Anyway, claiming it's based on suspicion, not proof. TMZ has obtained legal documents filed in the criminal case where his lawyers argue that Kid Cudi's claim about Diddy's alleged involvement in the 2012 car explosion are nothing but opinion and should have not been allowed in court. In short, they're saying Kid Cudi thinks Diddy did it, but there's no hard evidence, no confessions, no receipts. That's a fact. They continue to say, and by the way, here's the picture of the car. So it didn't explode. I think the media took that and they said it exploded. It never exploded, but it was a convertible. They cut a hole in the top and they dropped a Molotov cocktail in there, and it burned and charred up the majority of the inside. Okay, I don't even know if this made the car totaled. Honestly, you see some seat damage, some trim damage, but is the car inoperable? No, it don't even look like it engaged with the fuel tank or anything with the engine. Seems like some interior burning. Look, this is the top of the vehicle. They just cut a hole, right? They cut a hole and just dropped the thing in there, okay? Yeah. A little bit more there. This is from the inside. Okay. All right. Says, as we reported, Kid Cudi told the court last week he knew Diddy had something to do with it after ending things with Cassie, but admitted there were no witnesses, no fingerprints, or no proof linking him to the crime. It says, when Kid Cudi asked Diddy point blank about the explosion, he denied it. Kid Cudi testified we didn't believe him and claims Diddy even apologized for all that bullshit when he ran into him later, but he never said what the bullshit was. Diddy's team is now pushing hard to erase the entire exchange, arguing it's legally relevant and unfairly prejudicial. No word on how the judge will rule, but Diddy's team wants the judge to clearly torch that part of the trial. Now, what would normally happen if the judge is going to strike this? It's kind of, the jury already sat and watched it. If it was just a line or two, it would be easy for the judge to say, hey, disregard that. Do not use that in consideration of you coming to a verdict. What could normally happen here is that the judge could then make the decision, and I think he's going to think about it for a while. He could say that as part of the RICO indictment or the RICO count, which is count one, the jury cannot consider arson if the feds don't come with more proof. They have 2 hearsay testimony. Cassie saying, I think Sean did it. By the way, there's another one that's about to happen. Capricorn Clark, she's today. Capricorn Clark is a former assistant, supposedly the person who called Kid Cudi to say, hey, Diddy's at your house. He's inside. Now, if she's an eyewitness, I could see them letting the arson thing live because they're going to say someone seen him do it. But so far, the testimony about this arson is about, I think that nigga did it. It's not going to fly. Or definitely, if the judge allows it, I think on appeal, if, that's one of the predicate offenses that gets him a guilty verdict on the RICO, it's getting rolled back. So far, but they're not done presenting evidence. Remember, we're supposed to be in for 8 weeks. Is this week 3? We're in week 3. So this is officially start of week 3. Based on, we missed Friday and Monday. So this is day 10. So, we still got about, I think 3 or 4 more weeks to go. Jane Doe hasn't came up there, and you're going to have a bunch of experts come up there as well. Okay. So let's start out the day with that. Inner City Press is, of course, checking in like usual. And what the hell? Did it log me out of X? No way. What the fuck? Hold on, child. Wow, it logged me out of my Twitter account. Don't tell me one of y'all niggas hacked me now. Hold on, I'm trying to log back in. Like, you can't use Twitter really at all without logging in. Don't know the password? I do. All right, back in action. All right. So cool. Let's go to Inner City Press. We're gonna get caught up today, chat, on this entire thing with Diddy. I know you guys had a break, which I think was a well-needed break. And here we go. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, Capricorn Clark is on the stand. So before we get into reading some tweets, usually we start with my man's vlog. What the fuck is going on with my Twitter? Yeah, I don't know. Is Twitter down or is it just me? Okay. Is this today? Yes. All right. So this is I'll start with this and we'll start reading the tweets, all right?
Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. We're going in for week 3 of the U.S. versus Sean Combs trial. We've covered week 1. We've covered week 2. In fact, on both, we put out an ebook, audiobook. You can find them on Google Play. So just now, we actually wrote a story. We had, on Thursday of week 1, we did a filing to Judge Subramanian saying, why are the various arguments being made by the parties in emails not going into the docket? This is unacceptable. And he agreed. And at least the defense put in their side of it on Memorial Day. And it included emails contesting about Chef Jourdan Atkinson, about Don Hughes and Don Richard. Speaking of Don Hughes, there's also a filing by Alexandra Shapiro of the Combs legal team, the 10-lawyer legal team, saying that all of expert Don Hughes' testimony should be excluded because it was nothing but a Rorschach test, and it was impermissible and it was beyond the scope. Now, some people have said, she didn't even talk to Cassie Ventura, but she wasn't supposed to. She's an expert witness. But we'll see. I'm expecting that to be addressed in some ways as we get in. There's a few other things. Capricorn Clark will be testifying. Also, an LAPD or LA law enforcement, Jimenez, and the idea is going to be, can he testify about partial female DNA on the Molotov cocktail dropped into Kid Cudi's car? Doesn't seem that they're trying to say that he can't. The defense wants it in. So it's going to be a rip roar, and we're covering it as close as we can and getting as many documents as we can. And so watch this space. There's a few other cases actually happening here today, believe it or not. One is the congestion pricing case. Advocate campaigning is more systematic.
Okay, perfect. So let's get caught up real quick. Should be able to get caught up rather quickly with what exactly is happening. All right, so pretty much court started about like an hour ago. The judge did say, hey, I see you burnt the midnight oil over the weekend, okay? Essentially, again, Diddy's lawyers, because he has like 9 of them, they're trying to make sure that this doesn't turn into the hearsay case. So essentially, they're asking the judge, certain things should not even be admitted. The judge brings up DNA samples or DNA questions. The AUSA says, well, we want to bring on this investigator. His name is Jimenez. He has knowledge, and it says the knowledge of his is extremely limited. I don't know what that means. The judge says, but didn't he ask the serologist if the DNA test was done? The AUSA says, yeah, but not the results. So it looks like they're going to bring on an investigator, which is probably a detective, but the detective is going to refer to a specialist about the results of the DNA if they did get a swab or whatever. And the judge is saying, well, was the test done? And they're saying it looks like the results aren't easily, deciphered. So they want to bring on this specialist. AUSA says there's a partial profile from the glass bottle in the car. The investigator does not know what it means. The judge says, you don't object to the report coming in? Only what Mark Agnafilio would ask? The AUSA says, we do object to the report coming in. Okay? So it looks like this is a whole clusterfuck of things. They're saying that, and I'm trying to like interpret it here on the fly. It appears that Agnafilio is saying, we want to bring, if you guys are going to go down this arson route, there was a report and a DNA result report that we got turned over that we want to submit into evidence. And the AUSA is saying, yeah, you can, but we want to put an expert on the stand to analyze it or to be able to break it down because our detective can't break it down. It's the same type of like show. It's like the Tory Lanez case, right? Let me explain. The DNA profile says Diddy's DNA is not on it, right? However, AUSA is going to try to say, well, that doesn't mean he didn't do it. Diddy's team is going to be like, Diddy's DNA is not on it. How are you accusing Diddy of doing this? The AUSA is going to say, yes, his DNA wasn't found, but it doesn't mean he didn't do it. And that's where you need an expert to kind of give the, hey, even though, the percentage chance of blah, 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 or, it's very low, there's still a 5% chance, or they're most likely going to say is that because they got partial DNA, and they're going to talk about how DNA gets transferred from your hand to a bottle, and they're going to just talk about why they don't have enough DNA, why maybe DNA is missing, what does it mean with the results, but that could help the government have their case, okay? So it looked like they're arguing over a small point, but again, I think we've seen in the YSL case, and I don't know if you guys remember that, and also we saw in the Tory case, the majority of cases, and by the way, no, we definitely seen the YSL case too. The majority of cases that are won in court are won by making sure certain shit can't even get admitted in court. You don't argue it out. You don't just like show up and be like, okay, y'all got like the fucking smoking gun. Like the reason why YoungBoy stayed on house arrest for all that time, he was arguing. They were trying to take that shit all the way to the Supreme Court. They wouldn't listen to that case though still, but they took it to an appellate court about the memory card being admitted into evidence. There's a memory card that showcased YoungBoy holding a gun. The cops never seen YoungBoy having a gun. There's no proof of YoungBoy having a gun but what's on the memory card. So they fought for years to get that suppressed because if that was suppressed, there is no case. So I only say that to say a lot of times it's very, very important for you to fight these cases in motions to, admit or motions to suppress evidence rather than just deal with what, is there. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. So we object to the report coming in. Agnafilio says he got the results back. If the DNA came back with Sean Combs' DNA, this investigation would have gone in a different direction. But it was consistent with a female contributor. So that's what the DNA test says. That whatever DNA they found, it was female. It wasn't male. So already Diddy's lawyers are saying, why are y'all blaming this on Sean Combs when the DNA points to a female? But then that's why they want to put a specialist on the stand to be like, hey, could somebody else's DNA have not been whatever? What about these partial DNA results? What do those mean? That's what they're trying to do. The judge says, I'm going to overrule the objection, but I'll hear you at sidebar after the direct. So they're going to allow Diddy's lawyers to bring in this report.
Continue to cover this incident between the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons fans. Again, you know, we cannot drive this home enough. This is something. You go across the board of the four of us here. We've been around a lot of sporting events, all right, either playing in them or watching them. This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Well, the age of electronics is kicking in because I just got a beat from Joe Dumars, and one of the things he's taking issue with is us sitting up here right now and basically saying that it was justified for those players to go into those stands. He says there's no justification, regardless the fans were wrong, but the players should not exacerbate the situation.
But we're not saying that there's justification. What I'm trying to say is that you can definitely empathize with the reaction of someone who was involved in a very volatile and emotional situation.
Laws from the Knicks. The question is, can those be, for lack of a better word, remedied in time to save their season tomorrow night at the Garden?
Continue to cover this incident between.
This is their first of four.
And then he goes after the guy. Steven
comes back, has turned into a just, and that may do it. Jackson challenging Derek Coleman. Somebody should just get Jackson out of there. That's what causes the problem. Rasheed Wallace did an excellent job trying to keep everybody away and trying to keep the peace. But it started after Artest with a hard foul on Wallace after he got behind him. And then Ben Wallace came over with the shove. And an ugly way for this one to wind down. Totally uncalled for. I want to see the foul again because it appeared Wallace was past him and Artest shoved him. And that's what Wallace took exception to, but you still can't react that way. You've got to let it go. That's not that hard of a foul. It's not a normal foul, but not that hard. And Ben Wallace can't react that way. Wallace is still charged up. Now, Wallace, I would assume, has been ejected. The way Steven Jackson's carrying on, they should eject him as well. They need to somehow find a way to get this game over with as quickly as possible. The problem is, if Wallace is ejected, I'm not sure. He'd have to walk past the Pacer bench to go. Now Artest has jumped over the scorer's table and is trying to get down to the bench. Artest is in the stands. Oh, this is awful. Fans are getting involved. Steven Jackson's in the stands. The security trying to somehow restore order. Fans and players are going at it, and the players trying to help each other out. This is a disgrace. All the players now, they're jumping in there to try and get the other players out because the fans have come involved. Oh, what a sad scene here at the Palace. And now another fight's breaking out in front of the Pistons bench. It's a fan on the court. This is very
even in malice. I know when you got a chance probably to look at it on tape and you saw when you ran up there, you went after the wrong guy.
No, I actually didn't. I'll tell you why.
You really think you got the guy that threw it?
And not, a lot of people don't get this story because, you know, not everybody's looking at the malice and the Palace or paying attention. So what happened was when I got hit on that score tape, when I got hit from this direction, I seen a guy go like this, right? So when I got hit, immediately I was pissed. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
So when I look at the guy like this, I'm like, oh, you hit me. That was the guy I attacked. Now, that wasn't the guy that hit me. That wasn't the guy that threw it.
Right.
That was the guy that made the bet. So he bet John Green $50.
That he couldn't hit you.
That he couldn't hit me. So when he hit me, even though he lost the bet, he was like, oh, you did it. I attacked the right guy.
Right. Even the malice. I know when you got a chance probably to look at it on tape and you saw when you ran up there, you went after the wrong
academics. Can't
Tickets now.
He escaped.
Out front now, President Alexander Stubb of Finland. And President Stubb, happened to Vladimir Putin. He went on to say, quoting again, that he's gone absolutely crazy. Is that how you would describe Putin right now?
Well, I've been speaking with President Trump on numerous occasions, and I think there's always a strategy behind what Putin does, and that strategy is a strategy of delay. And while we're speaking, he continues his war of aggression in Ukraine, and we're talking about at least 5,000 dead or wounded soldiers per day. So if that's defined as crazy, then so be it.
You mentioned your many conversations with President Trump. I know you had a surprise visit with him in Mar-a-Lago this spring, and you played golf. And I know you're an extremely good golfer. So he then posted a picture of you. He was praising your golf skills. Obviously, that was just before tariffs. But even after the tariffs were announced, Mr. President, you sat next to Trump at Pope Francis's funeral. So how often do you speak with him?
Well, you know, I've had the opportunity to obviously meet him on a few occasions and then speak over the phone fairly regularly. And, you know, it's normal diplomatic exchanges of ideas. And I'm glad that I can do that because, as you understand, I come from a small country. And whenever the president of a small country is able to speak with the president of the United States, it's a good part of our diplomacy.
A small country, but a crucial country, and you have the longest land border with Russia in Europe. So when you talk of Putin, you know of what you speak, right? About 830 miles, we're showing it here. Right now, Putin is building up his military along Finland's border. Mr. President, what exactly are you seeing him do along your border right now? What is happening?
Well, I mean, we Finns are cool, calm and collected, and sometimes when you see things in the international media it's perhaps a little bit twisted. We have the border under full control. Russia has always had military bases along our border, and there's a normal buildup. You have to remember that 4 brigades were moved from the Leningrad military district when the war began in Ukraine, and our expectation is that there will be a buildup after the war is over, and that buildup will continue. And, you know, the reason is very simple. We have one of the largest militaries in Europe, together with Turkey, Ukraine and Poland, and on top of that we have just doubled NATO's border. So that's normal Russian activity. We have obligatory military service, 900,000 men and women who've done it. We have over 60 F-18s. We just bought 64 F-35s. We have the largest artillery in Europe together with Poland. And as I keep on saying, we don't have it because we're worried about Sweden. We have it because we want to create a deterrent against Russia. So, you know, one of the borders that the French or anyone else should be least worried about is the Finnish border. As we put it here, we got this, and especially we got this with our allies.
And when you talk about defending that border, one of the most common excuses made for Putin's invasion.
Every discussion about it has to be complicated. And, you know, you can just be like, she is a super.
Out front now, President Trump, who made this exact point.
Recent military history, he underestimated the power of the Ukrainian army, he overestimated his own army, and he underestimated the resolve of the unity of the West. And look, what was he trying to do? He was trying to make Ukraine Russian. Well, it became European. He tried to split the European Union. I've never seen it more united. He tried to split the transatlantic partnership and especially NATO, and he ended up with neutral Sweden and Finland joining NATO. So you could perhaps argue that whatever he made was a colossal mistake.
President Stubb, thank you so much for your time.
Right now, you are taking a live look over Moscow there in Russia as tensions between the U.S. and Russia appear to be escalating dramatically. A Russian official talking about the possibility of World War III. Fox's Doug Luzader joining us now live. Doug, good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, first off, I do want to ask you, can you break down the actual context here of the statement that was made and really who made it?
Well, you know, we've had a long effort now on the part of the White House to get Russia to the negotiating table.
Metro in Moscow was
thus
opened
far,
in 1935, and in its whole history, it didn't operate for only one day, when authorities wanted to blow it up because of the threat of the capture of Moscow by fascist troops. But it never happened. During World War II, the metro became a housing for citizens that was used as a bomb shelter, concert hall, library, school, Communist Party meeting point, and even a maternity hospital. Yes, more than 200 kids were born here. There are lots of secret gateways and tunnels, and there is a rumor that there is a hidden tunnel system named Metro 2, which was built on the orders of Stalin, and it goes from the Kremlin to the airport, and there is a nuclear bottom there. I don't know if it's true or just a myth, but what I do know is that if you rub a nose of a dog sculpture on the Revolution Square station, then your wishes will come true. That's what I know for sure. Things that would shock you about Moscow.
How many damn shoulders we got? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh! That was so slow.
How many damn shoulders we got? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh! That was so slow.
How many damn shoulders we got? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh! That was so slow.
How many damn? How many damn shoulders we got? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh! That was so slow.
How many damn shoulders we got? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh! That was so slow.
How many?
Oh!
Oh, God.
All right, you are filming.
Don't fall. Huh? Just kind of flirting. A little bit of vertigo.
Don't forget to pull.
Huh? Don't forget to pull?
Don't forget to pull it.
What if I let go? Oh, God.
All right, you are filming.
Don't fall.
Huh? Just kind of flirting. A little bit of vertigo.
Don't forget to pull.
Huh? Don't forget to pull?
Don't forget to pull it.
What if I let go? Oh, God.
All right, you are filming.
Corazón, mi corazón. E si riempiono gli occhi con le onde del mare. Ogni volta che va male ne dobbiamo parlare. Corazón, mi corazón. E si riempiono gli occhi con le onde del mare. Ogni volta che va male ne dobbiamo parlare. Corazón, mi corazón. E si riempiono gli occhi con le onde del mare. Ogni volta che va male ne dobbiamo parlare. Corazón, mi corazón. E si riempiono gli occhi con le onde del mare. Ogni volta che va male ne dobbiamo parlare. Corazón.
Yeah, let me give you a hug. Like you feel nice. Yeah.
My guy out here fighting demons.
This is day one without beating my meat. This is day two without beating my meat. All right. This is day one without beating my meat. Okay. This is day one without beating my meat. This is day one without beating my meat. This is the same day by training with the
My guy out here fighting demons.
This is day one without beating my meat. This is day two without beating my meat. All right. This is day one without beating my meat. Okay. This is day one without beating my meat. This is day one without beating my meat. This is the same day by training with the
My guy out here fighting demons.
This is day one without beating my meat. This is day two without beating my meat. All right. This is day one without beating my meat. Okay. This is day one without beating my meat. This is day one without beating my meat. This is the same day by training with the
That's what I'm saying. Follow me. You soft. You soft. You soft. Pull up. Come fight. Pull up. Fight. Fight. Come fight. Yeah. Come fight. Why are you trying to grab me? Why are you trying to grab me? That's what I'm saying. Follow me.
It takes a lot of mental energy to do what you guys did for 3+ days, dude. This shit grew my mental in ways you can't even understand. Like, the mental battles I went through behind the scenes on this shit, not because of anything specifically, it's just the fact that I was so sick. I was only sleeping for 2 hours a night, eating bad eats. I was like hallucinating on stream. I was throwing up in the bathroom every 30 minutes. Every time I said I had to go to the bathroom, I just fucking threw up. I had to come back like nothing was wrong and just keep fucking pushing, keep being funny, keep clip farming while my fucking throat hurt, my nose was running, I was throwing up, like all that shit, bruh. That shit takes a different type of mental, yo. That shit takes a different type of mental. It takes a lot of mental energy to do what you guys.
Let's go. Some of the best fried chicken you ever had, huh, Sharks?
Very close.
What if we told you that fried chicken wasn't chicken at all?
Oh, no.
You heard that right, Sharks. We make nothing but 100% vegan, plant-based eats using only organic, non-GMO ingredients, all while satisfying your every taste bud.
Extremely tasty. It's got some zip to it.
Thank you.
You really fooled me.
We were the first and only vegan company to be invited to the National Fried Chicken Festival.
That's cool. What is the revenue?
The revenue is $60,000 that we've done this year. Our net is $73,000 and our gross is $76,000.
But your numbers are backwards. It's impossible.
So we're at 60% profit margin.
Are you charging $44 to the customer?
Yes.
What does it cost you?
It costs us $2.67.
What?
Per wing or for 6 wings?
For six.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Some of the best fried chicken you ever had, huh, Sharks?
Very close.
What if we told you that fried chicken?
Thank you very much. I shall. Hello. May I please? Oh, hello. Can I please have one ice cream cone per chance?
Yeah. Anything else?
Oh, I would also love an ice cream sundae with hot fudge.
Okay.
Yes. And what flavor is that?
What?
The cone and the sundae, is it vanilla?
Yeah, vanilla.
Great choice. Oh, thank you. That'll be all.
538, second window.
What a deal. 538.
That's not bad, huh?
That's really good.
That's not bad at all for two items.
Yeah, we get 2 ice cream cones out of that. That's good.
Man.
Oh my God. Okay, great. We gonna kick out?
Man, I could foresee her getting like a McDonald's deal or something like that, bro. That's funny as fuck.
What's your name?
Faye.
Where are you from?
China.
How long have you been in New York City?
Just for 3 days.
And how long are you staying here?
For extra 2 days.
And why are you here?
For my friend's convocation.
How much money will you spend on your trip to New York City, including everything?
Let me calculate. I spent around.
Now, Germany has announced that it will finance Ukrainian-made long-range missiles for the country to use to fight off.
Before World War II exploded on Paris, previous to the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, their massive Zapad military exercises simulated capturing Baltic capitals in under 60 hours. It's not exactly subtle, but conventional tanks and troops are just the visible tip of the iceberg. Back in 2000,
man, it's your boy Neo Cannabis, and I'm back with the main culprit. And I'm gonna come from a different angle because a lot of people say it's just one thing, or they just think it's just supply and demand. Oh, it's just $100 billion industry is not complex. Like, these markets don't have a variety of factors for why they're on the decline. People, all of a sudden, they hear supply and demand and think they're economists all of a sudden, and they don't really even understand the full scope of the industry. So I'm going to be coming at it from a different angle. But before we hop into this, If you're new to the channel, my name is Neo Cannabis. In 2018, I started a licensed cannabis delivery service based in Oakland, California, and within 2 years scaled that business into a 7-figure operation. Currently, I teach prospective and already existing cannabis entrepreneurs how to start and scale their own cannabis. Prices are tanking, federal legalization, things like that. Okay, yes. I'm not saying that doesn't play a factor in neocannabis1@gmail.com, and I will get you right. So without further ado, let's hop into this one, man. Who fucked up the prices the most? Let's get to the bottom of this. Again, I'm going to come from a different angle. So let's really break this down. Of course, the easy cop out is supply and demand. Okay, everybody is economists now. Neo, it's too much supply. There's too much supply. That's why the prices are tanking. Federal legalization, things like that. Okay, yes. I'm not saying that doesn't play a factor into this. However, let's really think about it. There's really 3 to 4 states that are pumping out bags like that. You got California, Colorado, Oklahoma, Michigan. That's about it. Yes, there's about 25 states that are rec legal, but I'm talking about the states that are really pumping out units. So you got about 3-4 states. Colorado is really on the decline. It's really the hot states are Michigan, California, Oklahoma. So you got 3 states that's supposed to be supplying the entire nation. The other 25, 26 states that aren't rec legal, we can say that there is not going to be a large access to cannabis. There's over 300 million people within this country. Over 300 million people. So in those 26, 25 states that are not rec legal, that population combined is about half of the US. So are you really saying that these 3-4 states are supplying enough product for not only their own state, but also all of the other non-rec legal states in the country for the rest of the half of the US population? No, bro, I live in an illicit state, Georgia. There's definitely not a oversupply of cannabis. However, listen to this. You can still get good quality weed on the street and it's cheap. That is not the law of supply and demand. For those who don't know the law of supply and demand, if supply spikes and the demand doesn't equal that supply, then the price will reflect as such, and the price will have to decrease because there's not enough demand to eat up that supply, and vice versa. If there's a lot of demand and not enough supply, the price of that said product is going to increase because that product, that commodity is extremely more valuable. It's harder to get. It's more sought after. There's more demand for it. There's not enough supply. Therefore, people are going to raise the price for it. So to tie this all back up, there's not a oversupply of cannabis. We're way too early for that within this industry. There's a oversupply of sellers because you have to think nowadays, everybody wants to become a trapper. Everybody wants to become the plug. Everybody wants to become the middleman. There's an oversupply of retail and middleman brokers, trappers. There's just a way too big oversupply of it, because if you break it down onto a smaller scale, if I have a pound, let's say I have a pound of weed, I break that pound down and I give 1/8 to over 120 people. That 1 pound, that could be the last pound in the area that I have. But there's a facade that's going to be created that there's an oversupply, but no, there's just an oversupply of sellers because now there's 120 people trying to sell that 1/8. And then now there's all these people trying to get off the 1/8, and now people got 1/8 for 20. Oh no, I'm gonna sell my 1/8 for 15. Oh, I'm gonna sell my 1/8 for 10. So now that creates a reduction in the price because there's an oversupply of competition, of unexperienced trappers, of unexperienced business owners, because it goes back to people who are unexperienced within this industry think that the only way to compete, the only way to obtain customers is to compete on price. That's their only thing that they think will separate them from the next man. I've talked about that in different videos, but that's what inexperienced people who never ran a business, people who've never trapped on a high level, that's the only thing that they can think of to differentiate themselves to the competition. You got ace for 20. Oh shit, I'm gonna fuck up the market. I'm gonna have ace for 15. But what does that create? That creates a race to the bottom. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's a oversupply of product. That just means that there's an oversupply of individuals who are not educated, who do not value the product that they're selling, and do not understand that reducing your price only creates a race to the bottom. It's a game that you will never win. The market is not oversaturated. You can go into markets that are known as cannabis deserts. You can go into places even in California where there's not access to weed, and you can still get weed for cheap even though there's not a oversupply of it. People are always looking for plugs. People are in my DMs begging me for plugs, bro. If there was such a huge oversupply, it would be easily accessible to find quality weed to sell consistently. We're talking about on a consistent basis. Not you got a couple bags of za, a couple of runs, and then after you sold it all, you can't even get in contact with that same plug or that same grower or that same broker. So we have to really think about this on a creative level. Don't just jump and assume and think you know everything and think these $100 billion markets like cannabis are that simple. These markets are way more complex and come down to a variety of factors other than just, supply and demand. When you don't even understand supply and demand, because in markets like where I live in Georgia, I'm going to say it again, there is definitely not a oversupply of great quality product. However, it is not that hard to find cheap, decent weed. It's not that hard because there's an oversupply of sellers in the market. All these sellers are selling the same quality product. It's going to give the facade that, oh, wow, there's an oversupply. But when I start asking, do you have sativas? Do you have this? Do you have that? What other strains? You can see there's not an oversupply of it. If there was an oversupply, everybody would have 10 different strains. Everybody would have bags. It would just be so easily accessible. It would be even more plugs. But that's just not the case. So you ask, Neil, why is this important? How do I insulate myself from falling victim to this facade that, it's supply and demand, there's nothing that we can do? You know what always protects you from a race to the bottom when it comes to pricing is brand. Brand is the only thing that will insulate you. So if you're looking to get into this industry, you need to start a brand. You need to start your own brand in whatever capacity that is, whether that's THCA. If you want to trap on the black market, and I'll touch more into THCA in other videos, but if you still want to go on the black market, you still have to figure out how you are going to brand yourself. What are your unique selling propositions? Why is somebody going to shop with you and not shop with the person down the street? What is your identity? What do you want people to know you for? How do you want people to perceive you, and how do you want people to talk about you when they're referring you to other people? Do you want them to have a positive experience or a negative experience? These are all things that you need to think of. Everything is not supply and demand. Supply and demand is a factor, but a way to insulate yourself from supply and demand is to build your own brand, because once I build my own brand, I can charge whatever I want as long as there is demand for my brand. It doesn't matter what the product is that I'm selling. People F with the brand. So who fucked up the prices the most? It's not federal legalization. It's not an oversupply of
So, okay, but what do you guys, what's your
I think we could have some good news on the Iran front. Likewise with Hamas on Gaza. We want to see if we can stop that. And Israel, we've been talking to them, and we want to see if we can stop that whole situation as quickly as possible. But having to do with nuclear, we've had some very, very good talks with Iran, and I don't know if I'll be telling you anything good or bad over the next 2 days, but I have a feeling I might be telling you something good. We've had some real progress, serious progress.
The Sean Diddy Combs trial.
That's President Trump discussing the status of nuclear talks with Iran. This morning, Iranian officials say they may allow U.S. inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency to inspect Iranian nuclear sites if talks with Washington succeed. Iran's president says the regime will survive regardless, even if no nuclear deal is made. Axios, meanwhile, reporting that President Trump warned Benjamin Netanyahu last week about escalating things with Iran right now and potentially upending negotiations with the United States. Joining me right now is the exiled Crown Prince of Iran, His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi. Your Royal Highness, thank you so much for being here.
Good to be back with you, Amelia.
What is your reaction to Iran now saying that inspectors can come in?
Look, it's not the first time we hear this, and we have seen that the pattern of behavior of this regime has led most observers, including politicians, whether here or in Europe, figure out that how trustworthy is the regime at the end of the day? How many times have they been dubious? How many times have they blocked actual access of the IAEA to inspections of nuclear sites and what have you? I'm talking about the last 2 decades. So this is not a new discovery. The point that I'd like to make, however, Maria, and that's the key element, is that this regime is at its weakest right now. And at the same time, you see
debug. I don't have organized debug right now, and
strikes going on. This is an opportunity to put an end to the problem, and I believe that the ultimate solution is not going to be achieved as a result of whatever the
what not to do or what to do.
Right.
Well, you know, when you're in Jersey, we'd love to collaborate with you, and I'm pretty sure my Mexican community.
No, we definitely do
Definitely tap in, y'all, because there's just a variety of communities going on. There's just things that we can all collaborate on, and Bill, I'm sorry, but that issue is right.
Her shit going in and out, y'all.
Damn, bro. Yeah. That signals bikini bottom under the sea inside the fucking SpongeBob.
But overall, y'all, I just feel like everybody is somebody. Believe it, everybody not meant to be somebody. So again, it's either gonna be up to you to understand where your shit is. And like I said earlier, you gonna be the caller or you gonna be the caller. You gonna be calling motherfuckers for help, or you gonna be having motherfuckers call you for help. And you just gotta understand, whichever bed you make, you just gotta lay in it and be grateful for it. So I'm thankful to be able to see both sides of
being able to need motherfuckers. That's why I get back now. I don't care for money. Like, and money just find a way to get to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I need it. I'm not saying like fuck it, but I don't just do shit for money. That's like now, bro. Like, I could be doing, I don't know if y'all in the stand up. It's the We Don't Ones tour. It's a comedy tour with all the comedians on there. They was gonna pay me damn near. I'm gonna thought like damn near. I'm gonna say 20 damn near 20 to 17,000 a night off this motherfucker thing. Like, to do stand up for at least 15 minutes. I did not take it because I was not ready for it. Cause again, I'm like, I'd just rather do my own tour and grind it out and get better at what the fuck I do and make the money I need to make and then get my money.
Amazon Haul is like a portion of Amazon where everything is $20 or less. These in the summertime would be perfect. So like frilly, but the top is so tight. Ooh, you know. This is so good. I feel like the dancing girl emoji. And by skirt, I actually mean skort.
So you are the person that decide what the fuck is faster. And it, Pudgy! Yeah, come in, you good?
Marco's niche is like that dry humor. He got like, I don't know how to say it, like that sarcasm, you know what I'm saying? It's like passive.
Right.
Low-key it could be nice, but it's like low-key he's trying you, but he doesn't mean it that way.
What's the deal? Y'all get to meet Pudgy. All right, look, I want to tell y'all a story, right? Y'all want to hear a story real quick? Damn, are y'all looking at my, I wonder if I could turn on, hey, 1X. I wonder, damn. Okay, look. I wonder, y'all looking at my stream? Damn.
Shout out my boy 1X.
Okay. Y'all come here real quick. Hey, okay, so look, I'm gonna tell y'all a story.
I just opened up a chat and muted it.
We streaming right now. So look, y'all. How you doing, Queen?
How you doing?
So look, y'all, look. All right, y'all see, y'all watching my stream? You can get in the camera. It's right here. So look, we just talking about motivation shit. Y'all look, prime example, look. I remember I was moving out my house, right? I was moving out of my house before I bought this house. And they came by the house. They saying hi, y'all. They came by the house to just look around. Y'all came to the house for what? What did y'all come to again? I'm going to let them tell that part.
Oh, we were coming to the house because we were thinking of leasing the house for our family.
So I was moving out of it and they knocked on the door. And I was like, I didn't want to answer the door because I know, like, sometimes when I don't know nobody, we didn't know who they was. So I'm like, damn, they didn't know where we stayed. So I had my brother open the door. So then when I opened the door, tell them what happened on y'all side. What happened after we answered the door and shit like that.
Well, basically, like, when you answered the door, I was just like, dang, bro, I know you, fam. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, nah. Then actually, the homie Harvey came to the door. And I just kind of told Harvey, like, hey, man, we do construction, bro. We dope as hell, man. Like, check us out, man. And Harvey got our contact. And then it kind of, like, went from there for real.
So, again, like, even a wrong door. But, again, with that being said, and they done a lot in my house. Like, they have made my house way better than what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? That, which I probably would have spent more money, like, you know what I'm saying, overall. But, like, slow grinding, even spending money with them and building, even this moment, sharing them. Sometimes even working with people, it'll get you more money than what you think. You feel me? A relationship is better than money. You get what I'm saying? So again, like, don't ever sell yourself short. But again, sometimes it'll open the door. But I'm glad I got to work with them. And they had done so much shit to my house that I probably would have paid more top dollar, like, with a company. But instead of putting money back in their pocket and we build a relationship, and that's me, like, take
a killer get up.
I put them on my story. Like, again, you got to exchange sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, again, you got to understand that you're going to look like you're losing something when you do shit, or if you're a barber, or if you're a rug, if you're giving shit away. But, again, just give it to right people that you feel good doing it with. You know what I'm saying? Even that, I feel like we got a good relationship where they feel good, what we doing, and I feel good. So, if you don't feel good doing something, just don't do it at all. Leave it alone. Don't force nothing. You feel me? Sure. So, again, it's just a relationships get you far and they get you money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Drewski got to see them. Drewski seen them and noticed them because from my shit. Then they start working with Drewski and then that's money. Then they start working with Shaq. Then they're getting the money. So again, understand that relationships is like dominoes. You feel me? So
just like that.
That's why you got to build that shit.
Hell yeah.
Whole Foods organic then.
Right. But
well, it was nice meeting you guys.
yeah. And this they Instagram, y'all. Type your Instagram in here. So they do like construction and everything. Here you go. Type it in here. But yeah. So most importantly, it's just like that's one thing that I feel like y'all gotta understand that
you do construction. You need somebody. You need somebody extra hands or something.
Oh man, we actually finna start a class up, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna be teaching
y'all
like,
need some social media
you know what I'm
content?
saying? Yeah, definitely though, man.
I'm trying to support my social media right now, so I need
For sure, man.
He said he'll be the Janet, he'll be whatever.
For sure, man.
I would love to make you a rug if I could and just send it to you.
No, you can do it. I'll tap in with you. Brock, you on here?
Solid.
Respect, appreciate the love, family.
He definitely what you need, bro.
And
I'm a land local.
All they get, I might talk to y'all. Cause I know we got to finish the doors. And then I want to start trying to figure out what outside we can start doing for summertime too. Some of the stuff that y'all want to try.
I bet.
Too, so.
Yeah,
We're working on the golf course.
Are you right now, y'all right?
Yeah, you inspired it.
Yeah, I want one. See, I want one.
A little putt.
And you cut your hair?
Yeah, man.
Oh shit, that's what's up. All right, so where was we at real quick? Oh yeah, so that's like streaming, y'all. Like, I went into streaming university with 40,000 followers, and right now, I'm at 97,000 right now. So that was, I went in late, remember, because I missed my flight. So I went in late, and that was for Friday and Saturday. So I gained that shit in 2 days. So,
crazy.
And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was just like, I didn't even say, like, I was like, damn. I was like, I reached out the car. I was just like, I was like, damn, I was just wanting to see it, but I never just see myself a part of it. But I was like, let me fix my mouth for, fixing D, and I DM'd Casanet, and you know what I'm saying? I was just asking him to be a part of it. And he was just like,
with one-of-a-kind talent,
help other people.
and
so
it
Casanet
is
was smart with putting
game-changing for the entire league that she's in.
Get around Duke.
Now it's time
for
Power Players, brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. This week it's SGA. His play is leading the Thunder to a 3-1 lead over the T-Wolves. In Game 4, he had 40 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. OKC is a win away from the finals. What is it that sets apart these power players from the rest? Bottom line, it's their attention to detail and their innovative playing styles and relentless drive for performing at the highest level. The same goes for my BMW iX.